If you consider yourself a people pleaser, you want to be liked, you put your needs aside in order to keep the peace, you might be self-abandoning, and if so, this video is for you. Self-abandonment was the single most biggest thing I was doing in my life that was causing me to be so unhappy and so unfulfilled, and for good reason. Because when we self-abandon, we're actually putting aside our needs, our wants, our desires, our emotions. We're essentially living from a place of completely gaslighting ourselves in order to appease someone else. Simply put, self-abandonment is when we put our needs, our desires, our emotions, our wants to the side, and our truth in order to make someone else happy, in order to get love, acceptance, to be chosen, or to feel safe. Now, before you freak out, I promise you, I am sitting on the other side of self-abandonment. I lived my entire life self-abandoning, and I didn't realize how impactful self-abandonment can be because we literally live our entire lives this way. So let's rewind back to the beginning, shall we? Where do we learn to self-abandon? We learn to self-abandon when we're little kids in our environment growing up. And we learn through our childhood experiences that we need to abandon our authentic selves in order to either keep the peace, keep our parents happy, connect with our parents, or get love and acceptance. And all of these as a little kid is perceived as safety. So these things actually feel like life or death in the mind of a child. If a child does not feel connected to their caretaker, they are willing to sacrifice their authenticity, aka this shows up as self-abandonment, in order to get that connection. Because without it, it feels like they're going to die. Now, we know that in most cases, that is a very intense way of saying that, and it's not actually going to happen. But in the mind of our inner child, she or he doesn't know any better, right? So at the root, self-abandonment is a trauma response. It's something that we learn in order to survive the environment that we are in. So it shows up in many different ways and translates into adulthood as different symptoms. We learn it as childhood, that becomes our way of being. We sacrifice our authenticity and we continue living life that way into adulthood. Then we get into these romantic relationships, we get into marriages, we get into motherhood, parenthood, and we find ourselves feeling empty. We find ourselves feeling so shut down, so disconnected. We have no idea what we want or desire or what lights us up anymore. We're basically martyrs for motherhood. And it doesn't feel like a good way to live. It doesn't feel fulfilling. Yes, because you are a good person, you love being a mom. But what really lights you up inside? Are you able to speak your truth and not shut down your truth because you don't want to rock the boat? Self-abandonment is a big deal because it causes stress in our body. It further reiterates those mental loops, those emotional loops, those trauma loops that we learned as children. It creates chronic stress and burnout in our bodies because we're over giving to other people and not taking care of ourselves. It leads to resentment, burnout, and emptiness. I felt empty for years. I felt dead inside. If you talk to me on the street and you ask me my story, the number one thing I felt was dead inside. The reason I felt this way is because I was living life self-abandoning. I couldn't believe it when I found this out. And when you abandon yourself, you actually hinder the deep connection that is built on authenticity that is possible for you. If you abandon yourself, it's very hard to deeply connect with others because who you are showing up as is not your true authentic self, even if it feels like it is. How you're showing up is the part of you that wants to be loved, accepted. You want connection. You think that you're getting connection, but there is a version of you showing up, not your authentic, true, raw, vulnerable, beautiful, messy self. And long term, when you live this way, you give up your inner peace, your joy, your confidence, because you're constantly trying to make everyone else happy at the expense of who you truly are. And it's heartbreaking. Hey sister, I wanted to interrupt this video for just a moment. Listen, you're probably here because you're either feeling burnt out or exhausted with how you've been living. Maybe it feels like you're feeling numb or heavy because of past trauma. And I just wanted to let you know that you're not alone. I've been in your shoes. I want you to know that having a regulated nervous system, feeling alive and feeling joyful, feeling this zest and peace in your life is so possible with the right tools and the right support. If this is something you know you're ready for, I would love for you to book a call with me by clicking the link below. We're going to hop on a call and come up with a game plan tailored directly for you so that you can begin making this fully alive life part of your reality. You can click the link below. So how does self-abandonment show up in adulthood? Well, we've already covered a few of them, but number one, people pleasing. If you're trying to make everyone else happy, that is a huge sign of self-abandonment. Number two, if you're having an emotional reaction to something, if you're pissed off and upset, yet you choose not to say anything because you don't want to rock the boat or upset the other person. Self-abandonment also shows up when you say yes to something that you really want to say no to. Overriding your emotions, completely ignoring what you're feeling, pushing them down and telling yourself it's not a big deal. Ignoring your intuition or conviction from God. If you know something deep in your soul that you're supposed to be doing or not supposed to be doing, yet you do it anyways, this is self-abandonment. Perfectionism. This is rooted in your worthiness being tied to your ability to perform. And lastly, numbing out. If you're scrolling, overeating, overworking to avoid your feelings, you are literally abandoning yourself in that moment. And actually, I have one more. If you're an overthinker, this is a huge sign of self-abandonment. When you are stuck in your head overthinking, you're actually avoiding what it is that your body is feeling in that moment, your emotions, your felt sense, your experience. If you're just in your head and you have all of these thoughts, these incessant, annoying thoughts that won't stop, that is self-abandonment. So I want to give you 5 simple things to overcome self-abandonment. Self-abandonment is one of my most favorite things to work on with clients. Tip 1, build awareness. Take inventory of your day. Where do you already know you're self-abandoning? How does that feel in your body? What do I actually need right now? What would be truly honoring to who I am and my needs and my boundaries in this moment? Number 2, reconnect with your body. When you are in your mind with these crazy thought loops that we get in as women especially, catch yourself and take a few minutes to breathe. Get into your body. You can place your hand on your heart and your tummy or your womb space area and just take 5 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you exhale, allow your exhale to be longer than the inhale. Number 3, practice micro boundaries. A lot of self-abandonment includes breaking our own boundaries. So think back to a time, and it could have been today, earlier today, yesterday, last week, where you did something, but then you felt bad afterwards. Let's say a friend needed help and you were just already spread so thin, but you said yes anyways, and you felt this little icky feeling inside of your chest. I want you to think back to those moments and just get a few of them in your mind. And going forward, I want you to set a micro boundary. What that might look like is saying no to a task you might have said yes to, taking something off of your calendar, asking for help when you need it, lovingly expressing how you're feeling. Maybe you're married and you're in a romantic relationship and you feel very under-supported at home. How could you lovingly ask for help? Number 4, inner child work. This is the most powerful one, especially when you're doing it with a coach or a therapist or a trained practitioner that can help you. Inner child work is going back to the root of where self-abandonment developed in the first place. So imagine yourself going back in time and checking in with the younger parts of you. How old is she? What environment is she in? What is she feeling? And most importantly, right now, what does she need from you? Maybe she needs you to go for a walk. Maybe she wants you to cuddle up in bed for a few minutes, get under a cozy blanket. Maybe she wants you to step barefoot outside. Maybe she wants you to color a piece of paper. Maybe she wants you to make brownies or chocolate chip cookies. What does she need so that she feels honored and respected and seen and heard and felt for what she's experiencing? You can actually give that to yourself. That is inner child healing. And then number 5, self-love practices. Self-love is so trendy today, right? But it's like indulgent self-love, and it's actually not rooted in true self-love. True self-love are the honoring actions you take to respect yourself from a day-to-day basis, okay? So a great way to do this is to celebrate your wins. What good thing happened today? What did you do? Did you put makeup on? Did you take a shower? Did you talk to someone new? Did you pray for someone? Any little thing that you do that is good, I want you to commend yourself for doing that. All this is doing is building up that muscle of self-love within yourself. Once you begin to figure out where you're self-abandoning in your life and connect it to why you haven't been feeling good, everything shifts. And I want to tell you that it's so possible for you to be living from a place of genuine authenticity where you're not taking action out of fear for someone leaving you or abandoning you or betraying you, but you're true to yourself. This is exactly what I teach inside of my 8-module virtual program called Unbreakable. It is exactly what I have designed it for women just like you and me. This is a process that I took myself through. I put it into Unbreakable, into bite-sized modules that can make the world of a difference. One of my recent Unbreakable graduates said, "Unbreakable is powerful, but only if you're ready for the healing." And so this is my invitation to you. If you would like to explore working together, I love diving into self-abandonment and helping women come back home to themselves, come back online, get out of this trauma response, get out of dysregulation, and live a life that feels so good, so lit up that you are beaming with joy. Everything is down below in the caption, and I will see you in the next video.